Yes, a good afternoon. A good afternoon to you, dear brothers and sisters on the African continent. I hope all is well with you by the grace of our Heavenly Father, being the master architect of all living and unliving things. We glorify and applaud His presence in our lives respectively. We give thanks and praise for His loving kindness. Brothers and sisters, it is always a pleasure to stand before you in our continued effort to free ourselves from the bondage of dictatorship. So brothers and sisters, global citizens, most importantly fellow Africans, when we come before your screens, we are bringing to your attention the plight of the people of the Republic of Uganda, a conundrum that we have borne on our shoulders for the past 4 decades. Brothers and sisters, we are resilient, we are committed, and we are resistant to all sorts of intimidation. So brothers and sisters, and at this very moment, this beautiful Friday, allow me to recap or to remind you or to reflect on the words His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu spoke on the day he nominated to run for the presidency, prior to the commencement of the campaign revolutionary train that propelled him into the presidency of the Republic of Uganda. Greetings to you, Engineer Mike. Greetings to you, brothers and sisters who are present right now as speak. Please, this is what His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, it is just a fragment in reminding you of the words he spoke from the bottom of his heart and from the organization that he leads. Since our nation was born in 1962, every change of leadership has been written in blood. The blood and sacrifice of ordinary citizens of Uganda, and yet leaders who promised liberation have always delivered oppression. For 40 long years, one man and a small group of relatives and friends have ruled our country on gunpoint. They have looted the nation and turned every institution of government into a tool of oppression. They have reduced the citizens of Uganda into slaves on their own land. They have turned our poverty into a weapon of control. And yet, Uganda is not poor. Uganda is rich. Our land is fertile. And our people are hardworking and enterprising. We are resourceful. We are energetic. We are young and promising. Our country is one of the richest countries in terms of natural resources. So our problem is not lack of wealth. Our problem is lack of leadership. Leadership that serves the people instead of exploiting them. Leadership that seeks to uplift citizens instead of enslaving them. Brothers and sisters, that is the message. Just a fragment extracted from the message he presented before the people of Uganda and global citizens as a whole prior to starting the revolutionary campaign trail. Global citizens and fellow Ugandans, the international observers, they were waiting to see how the electoral process take place throughout that period. But what they witnessed was but a military operation. The tilting of justice, the selective application of the law unjustly as they are. So global citizens, this message, as he read it before us, still reverberating in our conscious minds. And it sounds true today as it was first promulgated on that rainy day, which was a symbol of acceptance. Acceptance of God Almighty, that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was indeed selected by him to be the leader of Uganda. Fellow Ugandans, to this day, we are still demanding our victory. We are still demanding and telling Mr. Justice Byabakama Mugenyi to post all the tallying sheet of the election and all the forms of declaration form of results from every single polling station. That is the stance of National Unity Platform in Museveni's continued proposing through his agents, proxies, that there must be a national dialogue. We dialogue not with those who look down on the law. So brothers and sisters, fellow Ugandans, do not buy into the narrative of dialoguing with a man who only excels in murdering people and trying to silence all voices of dissent. So we are still demanding our victory. We are still demanding that this time around, National Unity Platform promised liberation, not a militaristic liberation, but rather a liberation that is utilizing all avenues, all possibilities that are within the confine of the law. So brothers and sisters, we are non-violent in our application, but we are assertive in demanding for that which is rightfully ours. Global citizens, that is our stand. We come here to fight hypocrisy dressed as diplomacy. So brothers and sisters, when you hear us pointing out some, dignitaries, diplomats within the boundaries of Uganda, do not say that we are disrespecting or anything of that sort. We are bringing to the attention, we are bringing these people to your attention to understand the activities in the favor of Museveni and the activities of the revolutionists in the, trying to expose the hypocrisy within diplomacy. Brothers and sisters, fellow Ugandans, we have to pay attention to all initiatives brought to us by this failed regime, illegitimate in its entirety, right? I'm not saying that you should pay attention to eternalize them or to conform to them, no, but rather to develop a sense that does not agree, and it must reject anything proposed by Mr. Museveni's regime, because it is contrary to that which the people of Uganda agreed upon on the 15th January, right? So there is a narrative being driven by the Ministry of Health, right, that they are immunizing children. And today, as I was coming before you, I saw the U.S. Embassy in Uganda posted on its page showing that they have embarked on a journey in a theme titled America Innovation plus Uganda Leadership equals to saving lives result, right? So that statement from a diplomatic source legitimizes what they considered as leadership, but in a real sense, this is dictatorship. So this kind of hypocrisy and insidiousness within diplomacy, it is not to be left unaided or attended to. This is the reason why I'm saying is that the ambassador here, saying that with the leadership of Uganda, that contradicts each and everything in the sense of understanding. We are saying this is not a leadership, this is a dictatorship. Now, the diplomats saying this is a leadership, and when they are, they are running programs, the government, the regime of Museveni is in conjunction with the U.S. government to bring what they considered as an immunization to HIV, or the virus that brings AIDS, right? They are saying that once you take this injection, it can prevent you from contracting HIV for a year, right? This is what the U.S. Embassy is saying, and it considers Museveni as a leadership. So we need to bring this into contextualization, brothers and sisters, in relation to the already publicized security alerts, is that the Minister of Health headed by Diana Atwine and Ruth Acheng. Diana Atwine, she is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health. And Ruth Acheng, she is the Minister for Health, right? So, in accordance with the security alert, ASP Asime informed the Ugandans that they tabled their result, that they have already released the virus of measles within schools and the entire general population, right? And they are counting 2 weeks that the cases are going to rise rapidly, right? Now, we are finalizing the first week, which Diana Atwine and Ruth Acheng promised Salimu Saleh in their meeting while at Chankwan's, that already they have released these viruses into the society. And their, aim to achieving this, it is first to get money from World Health Organization, and second, to get food from World Food Program, right? So all of these are being orchestrated, but by what the U.S. Embassy considered to be a leadership. Now, to tell me, if a leadership can lay strategies of this diabolical magnitude towards the people it claimed to lead, certainly not. This is not a leadership. It is but rather a dictatorship that is determined to consolidate its diabolical plots within the people of Uganda. So our worry is with the diplomats that seems to be downplay the ongoing revolution in exposing Mr. Museveni's hypocrisy. The U.S. Embassy, to all you leadership therein, we are telling you, please, stop derailing that which we are taking forward. Please, for you to call Mr. Museveni's murderous regime a leadership, that one casts that sense of skepticism towards your goals within our country. U.S. Embassy Uganda, we told you that the transition of leadership won't change anything in respect to your interests in Uganda, right? But the clauses in the agreement must be reviewed, right? Because this is supposed to be a mutual benefit between the international people and the natives, right? And the natives, that is only what is going to come within the agreements. But your interests still will be met, right? Will be met. But what we are saying, stop confusing Ugandans. Stop confusing Ugandans. His Excellency, the Ambassador of the United States in Uganda, please stop confusing people. We are not trusting anything that has to do with Museveni's regime. Mr. Museveni's regime does not have anything good to the well-being, towards the well-being of Ugandans. No, what they do, it is to bring to the forefront that which will lessen the population, right? This is what we speak before you, the parents of Uganda. Let us try to think in depth. A regime that sought at the beginning to cripple the minds of your children by depriving that state-sponsored, school programs. That was a first symbol that the administration is not pro-people, and actually it targets a certain, generation to be messed up. We all know that generation in a real sense, even after 40 years, that is considered as a generation, right? He has ruled over us for 40 years. For 40 years, you see? So brothers and sisters, what we are saying right now is that we must reject anything brought to us by Mr. Museveni's regime, because it was never voted into power and we rejected it. So parents, teachers, please stay pro people. Stay pro people and reject whatever initiative that comes with Museveni's agents, such as Diana Twine and Ruth Acheng. All ministers in Museveni's regime, you must not accept what they are saying. It is meant to entrap you. It is meant to cripple the future generation of Uganda. They came up with a program that they are immunizing HIV in school. Little kids, 12 years and below. What kind of things are those? These things are not acceptable. So they must be challenged by people who occupy offices, particularly members of parliament. Members of parliament, these programs are taking place in your constituencies respectively, but you don't say a thing about them because you are on the payroll of a degenerating regime, a regime which cannot be saved. Are you ready to go into the grave with a dead corpse? A sinful mind wouldn't choose that path. A sinful mind wouldn't choose that path to go into the grave with a dead body. Museveni and his whole regime, they are dead. They are dead. They are out of options. The only left option on their table, it is to kill. And that option, it is not applicable to this, civilized world. They are going to kill for how long? How many people are they willing to kill? It is public knowledge that they have been killing all along. But it feels to them they have not even killed. You see, that goes on to show you that you cannot suppress voices by killing them. It is all about speaking the truth and sitting on the table. We are not rejecting sitting on the table, but not with the presence of Mr. Museveni and his entire 27 men, right? We reject that to its core. We reject that to its core. Fellow parents in Uganda, do not take your children to the school to be immunized. Now they are doing it without the notice of the parents. They just grab kids at school and they inject substance in them without the consent of their parents, without the consent of the children. You can imagine a source of education has become a source of all sorts of vices. Education, that department, the Department of Health, it is the one that orchestrates that which takes life. Brothers and sisters, what kind of society are we living in? Are we not civilized to stand and defend the truth, to stand and defend justice? Are we not civilized? I'm talking to us, fellow Ugandans, wherever you are on the surface of the earth. What are we lacking? To be firm on the ground and say, Mr. Museveni, we outvoted you, give us leadership. Give us leadership without a shed of blood. We are saying that they know killing people, it is now exposing them. Killing people with bullets, it is exposing them to the core. Now they resorted to the Ministry of Health and in the schools. And whatever they want to implement, they go into the parliament and create a bill signed into law to justify that which they are about to implement. Brothers and sisters, that which they are about to implement. We saw, in accordance with the security alert, moreover, that they came up with a program that the US government was calling all members who served in Iraq and Iraq and Afghanistan respectively, to give them gratuity, right? So now we see the parents are searching for their missing children, those who served, those who responded to the call that was aired by the media, the state-controlled mainstream media, right? So the US Embassy, we inquired whether it had a hand in this. We never got any response, right? So we are saying, and again, SPRC came out and say that there is a ploy of which Museveni and his agent, Flavian Nzeija, are bringing within the legal fraternity, and they want to trap them. Those whom they have used to execute their goals, they want to do away with them, to erase any trace, to erase any trace, to remove any trace, right? So now information indicates that members, men and women in the judiciary, especially those who have been vocal in pulling out national inter-platform elected candidates, are now grappling with poison, particularly Justice Chinobe, Justice Akram, and another many judges are grappling with poison. You cannot see anywhere. Men in uniform are dying mysteriously as a result of poison. You cannot see it anywhere. But the U.S. Embassy goes on to say, with the leadership of Uganda, which leadership? The United States itself witnessed the brutality that transpired throughout the electoral process, right? So why do you go on to legitimize that which is detrimental? This is what perplexes and actually perturbs our sense of rationality. It perturbs it. It perturbs it because we have been fighting a psychological war. United Embassy, U.S. Embassy in Uganda, we have been fighting a psychological war, and the people of Uganda rose to the occasion, you know, having internalized the information that came with the National Inter-Platform Manifesto, right? U.S. Embassy, I'm on your case. I'm on your case. Stop legitimizing Mr. Museveni's murderous regime. We are rejecting it vehemently. All of you, men and women serving in the U.S. Embassy, Kampala, we are telling you what you are saying here. We do not accept any initiative brought to us by Museveni. We cannot entrust our children with Mr. Museveni's controlled Ministry of Health, right? We do not buy into your immunization of HIV. No, what we want is just leadership. We will get our own research in medicine when we have done with the Museveni. What we are saying, it is to free ourselves from your dependence of tokenism, of giving us this and this, medicine, this and this. No, we are saying, give us liberty. Give us liberty. Come and extract your natural resources as you want on a mutual benefit, right? Stop legitimizing that which is killing the people. We are telling you Museveni is killing infants in school. U.S. Embassy, we are telling you this. He's killing infants in school. Medical practitioners, those who are pro-people, are being persecuted because Mr. Museveni is extracting eternal organs out of people when they are not dead. Right? U.S. Embassy, we have been speaking these things for quite a long time. Why are you taking us to be fools? Right? Why are you taking us to be fools? You think we should continue respecting you because you are in suit? No. We are not envious of the suits and your smartness, but we are being overwhelmed by your hypocrisy. That hypocrisy, it gives us this sense of, it is just nauseating us. Why don't you just accept the will of the people? U.S. Embassy, please stop legitimizing that which is ugly before us. Fellow Ugandans, let us look what the Uganda Communications Commission is saying. As I was coming here, I saw CBS FM posting that the Uganda Communications Commission have initiated a program urging citizens of Uganda to bring their worn-out gadgets, and they have created some baskets similar to those of dumping for the garbage on the street, that people must deposit their gadget there. So now this one takes us back to the security alert by ASP Asime Steele, when he said that Mr. Museveni, his regime, when they sat and they say that our regime, the foundation of our regime, have been rendered jittery because of this communication, the flowing of information on the internet. So they agreed to devise a mechanism to curb the access on the internet and the handheld gadgets, how to be controlled and limited, right? So ASPRC said that if they concluded by saying we must create a group that must be specializing in stealing mobile phones, smartphones, they said we must initiate a program facilitated by the state, obviously controlled by Christopher Damulira, right? This group, similar to that which has been stealing the number plates across the country, similar to that which has been stealing the cables, similar to that. So now this group will steal mobile phone and make people to detest even holding one, right? They have to be snatched off them brutally. If they try to resist, let them be killed. These young men who have been indoctrinated to make the society like that are being protected by the Christopher Damulira's ghetto structure. And they are guarded by Uganda police. They receive police bond. They receive police bond even before any case has been heard by the complainants. These people are controlled by Uganda police force. They have been controlled by Uganda police force in conjunction with Mr. Damulira's controlled staff, right? So, the Ministry of Communication, the Department of Communication Commission is saying that this will help the people to bring back the gadget while they are trying to start researching each and everything. But the ploy behind this is a ploy, right? And the hidden agenda behind it is to take as much gadgets as they want, right? And in this, they are now controlling that the government is going to offer free data on grounds that all the network providing companies in Uganda are foreign-based, right? So they say that one is a little bit problematic. Now, they're trying to sound somehow technically smart. They are saying that when data it is not being provided by foreign network companies, it will be very fast to load on the internet, or to load on the phone, or to download or upload anything on the internet, right? They are trying to convince the people that the attenuation or data transaction buffering currently is attributed to the distance of the network providers and the land in which we are. But we know exactly that all of this ploy leads to one other security alert, right? And this ploy by the Communication Commission of Uganda, it is aligned with the provocative messages being made by Mohoz towards the Iranian state, right? So, the connection between these UCC, Mohoz's tweets, and the security alert of ASPRC, it comes in this play. They said that we have to control the internet, right? And they said that the only way to control the internet, it is to attack the fiber optic which are laid underneath, at the bottom of the Indian Ocean. So if we start throwing provocative stones towards the state of Iran and create that kind of verbal exchange, we will create that impression in the minds of the international community and the people of Uganda. Before we attack the cable, remember they have access within Kenya's authority. They can send people down there and cut the cable. So they started to ponder over that, and they did not agree nicely, right, within their cabinet. So whatever they hint over, it is leading to something so cynical. So when the UCC comes to say that bring the mobile phones, they are trying to implement that, which ASPRC said that they are trying to control the handheld gadget within the society. Now that the program is ongoing, they want to cut the internet. And they will claim that perhaps the misunderstanding they had with the Iranian government, Iran have attacked the internet from Uganda. Remember, we get fiber optic from India, from Mumbai. That is where we get fiber optic. So if Museveni, he is planning to attack the fiber optic, it goes on to show us that when he wanted to explode, or when he falls down, when he was fighting his war, and he was restrained by people whom he was fighting with, and say that there are national structures that must be left standing, right? Now you can imagine a man who comes with measles to be placed into the schools, a man who limits the flow of information by chasing some of the platforms that are helpful for socializing, people to advertise their abilities and capabilities. This is the man now who is saying that he is promising to offer free data across the country. This is hypocrisy. We must not buy into this. We must reject it, fellow Ugandans. Do not accept what UCC is proposing, that bring your cell phones if you are not using them. Remember, they said they are going to regulate all mobile phone technicians, that it must be controlled. No more fixing phones in Uganda. You can imagine every opportunity that is available, somebody to extract something to facilitate his family. It annoys Museveni. It annoys Museveni. Now they are trying to eliminate all mobile phone technicians in Uganda because they don't want information to flow. Brothers and sisters, now there is a big plot that is taking effect gradually. This is a coup d'etat, right? A coup d'etat. Now imagine Uganda, these people take that coup d'etat when there is no internet. We all saw what happened when they switched off the internet during election. During election, the results are still catastrophic, though undocumented. We are not certain how many people were killed during that blackout. We are not certain. Uganda statisticians have not come out to tell us how many people were massacred, right? How many people were massacred when the internet was shut down. So now they want to shut down the internet, claiming that the terrorists have attacked the cable that supplies internet in Uganda. So brothers and sisters, everything that Museveni brings on the table, it is not on our benefit, it is on their own consolidation of power, which is troublesome, We wouldn't be having a problem with these people. Brothers and sisters, why would the state, having extracted the tax from the people for the past 40 years, why would they plan to infest our children with measles, to sterilize our daughters in school, solely to control the population? Why is that, Mr. Museveni? Mr. Museveni, why are you acting as a colonial tool? Mr. Museveni, Salim Saleh, you cannot harvest the whole world. What you intake, as in consumption, that is your portion. After hard working, Salim Saleh, there is nothing else that you can take. When that time comes, why don't you be contented? Why do you continue messing up? Where do you expect us to get that sense of, humor when things eventually turn upside down, of which they will, Salim Saleh, undoubtedly. Do not have any doubt in that. Things are going to turn. Things are going to turn in the favor of Ugandans. Salim Saleh, all signs are showing that you are not prevailing in any given circumstance. Salim Saleh, stop killing Ugandans. Stop killing Ugandans. Stop killing Ugandans. U.S. Embassy, you are in connivance with the Mr. Museveni's agents, Diana Atwine and Luther Cheng, to continue massacring Ugandans using science. U.S. Embassy, those injections you're bringing into Uganda, they are not welcomed. We are not destitute for your help. Please, give us peace. Stop administering your medicine to Ugandans. No, we will find medicine to eradicate HIV without your help. We are people who were born, gifted with knowledge by God, right? And actually, your system of education polished some dust of our understanding. So what we need, it is a conducive environment to apply the knowledge to our benefit in terms of discovery, research, to stabilize our societies respectively. U.S. Embassy, give us peace. U.S. Embassy, give us peace. Stop legitimizing this dictatorship. U.S. Embassy, stop legitimizing this dictatorship. Fellow Ugandans, what you see is the National Sovereignty Protection Bill. This is meant to silence all voices of dissent. The ongoing demolition of people's property, it is meant to silence those whom they want to silence. It is meant to instill fear in us. They know exactly that any given time we are coming after them. They are preparing that we must be out of the comfort. But on our side, and according to my perception, that will help us to remove the dust and that kind of illusion within the minds of those who perceived Museveni's presidents as otherwise. At least we are doing our job. All of them, they will come and join in the struggle. Brothers and sisters, today you have seen that they are now removing the buses transporting children to school, to trains. Give me, how many trucks do we have? They are trying to eliminate vehicles from the road. You know why? Because ASP Asime is always urging us to bear one thing in mind when a revolutionary moment erupts, is that we must cripple road transport in one way or the other. We must put trucks in the road when we come to protest and demand our victory. So now they know that is the only option we have as a weapon to be utilized. At that moment, they are trying to push us off the road. They are claiming that children must be transported using Uganda Leire. Brothers and sisters, can you imagine? They are chasing us off the roads. They are scared because Ginger Road had the most longest traffic jam in history. So now they are scared. They are saying, if something of that sort happened, what are we going to do? Now they have come up with another problem. You can see that whatever they bring throughout Parliament, it is meant to consolidate Museveni, not for the betterment of Ugandans, not for the betterment of school children. No, they never wished anything good for the school children. If they had, why did they, give the children the marks that they never worked for? Can you tell me that that person wishes a child a good future? Falsifying the performance of a child? There is no such a thing. These people, they don't want our children to be with the knowledge, to fit in the global society, digitized as it is. You understand? So brothers and sisters, the more we reject everything, the more Mr. Museveni's space shrinks. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, allow me again to point out, in sending a message, still extracted from that which Kyagulanyi Ssentamu stated. Yes, boy. What's up? Are you good? Yeah, that's good. I'm finalizing here, right? Brothers and sisters, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, he stated a message directed to Dictator Museveni, to General Museveni. I know you don't like to listen to young people, but at least listen to your friend General Kahinda Otafile. Uganda was here before you, and Uganda will remain long after you're gone. You don't have to burn it down on your way out. the best guarantee for your legacy and for your security and for what you and your people have earned in the last 40 years is to allow a peaceful and a democratic transition. The opportunity is available, and we are not a vengeful people. We still believe in peace. We believe in justice, and we believe in reconciliation. All we want is a free and fair election. No military violation, no military violence, no police brutality. Let this be an election, not a military operation. What they choose on those two options, they chose the latter. That was a military operation, meaning that this opportunity for his security of all his offspring is shrinking. It is shrinking, Mr. Museveni. Salim Saleh, go back and examine the message he delivered on the day he was nominated. Fellow Ugandans, don't believe in anything brought before you by Mr. Museveni, by any of his agents. They use Ugandans to deceive their fellow Ugandans. You cannot see any Kabano Incorporated coming and speaking and introducing nonsensical. You can imagine a man who was indoctrinated to come and start speaking and show the people the goodness in this, this property control bill, right? They use Nobati Mao as an eloquent to speak and drive their program. They use Odongoto to control the northern Uganda, eloquently speaking and divert the minds of northerners. They use people who are knowledgeable, people who can communicate with the society, because they are not gifted with anything of that sort, you understand? So brothers and sisters, oh, Mama Nabagereka, bwe nabadde nzija wano nkulabye ng'otuuse mu lubiri, webala obuweereza bwo. Muyina omusomo gugenda mu maaso era gulaga nti gw'abaana. Omukungu wa Ssaabasajja akwanaganya empisa n'ekikula ky'olulyo lw'omwana w'omuntu gy'ali. Naye Maama Nabagereka we twogerera wano, bendera eno nga bw'ogiraba eyiwa amaziga agatayinza kubaako kipimo. Maama Nabagereka, Museveni, Salimu Saleh, Muhoozi Kainerugaba basse abantu betamanyi gye babajje. Muhoozi, Salimu Saleh, Museveni basse abantu mu mambuka ga Uganda. Muhoozi, Museveni, Salimu Saleh batta abaana ba Buganda. Maama Nabagereka, Buganda eyina abaana bayitirivu nnyo mu makomera. Maama Nabagereka, situla eddoboozi nga maama omukyala, beera nga maama wa Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro, beera nga maama wa Eddie Mutwe, beera nga maama wa Malinos obulumi bwe yayitamu, beera nga maama wa Sauda Madada, beera nga maama wa Dolini Kaija, beera nga maama wa Lina Zedriga bye yayitamu, beera nga maama wa Jole Katumushabe, ebintu bye bayitamu. Maama Nabagereka byabayituusibwako olwa gavumenti ebawa omusaala okusirika obutogera ku biki ebituusibwa ku bazzukulu ba Buganda. Bazzukulu ba Buganda mwe bwe mugamba nti bwe muzze okulaba okukubakuba babeere n'empisa ez'omu buntu. Mazima ddala eyo nnono yaffe era kizze kitukuzibwamu nga tutegeezebwa nti obuntu bulamu buva ku ngozi. Yensonga lwaki tetunnabagenda mu bikolwa buyiwa musaayi, kubanga obuntu bulamu obwo bwe twayonka mu mabeere g'abanyaffe n'engozi ze batusibanga bukyali mu ffe, ate ne bujja buggyibwako enfuufu ne muzzukulu wa Kayiira Gajuule Mitembo, Ssekabaka Ttembo gwe yatemba Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, Bobi Wine si mulala oyo. Kale Maama Nabagereka atukubiriza, atukakkanyiza emitima, atuwombeese naye mugezezzaako nnyo okuyiwa amazzi mu byakola nga sirumye mu kigambo. Charles Peter Mayiga omusajja atubadde ku bwakatikkiro bwa Buganda ayigganyizza enkyukakyuka, ayigganyizza olutabaalo mwe tuli. Ye yennyini yakoowoola gavumenti y'omutemu Nakyemalira Yoweri Museveni omunnalwanda nti eddire ejjeyo omukono ogw'ekyuma egusse ku bazzukulu ba Ssekabaka, bazzukulu ba Kintu, bazzukulu ba Nambi. Mazima ddala akikoze Museveni nga Charles Peter Mayiga bwe yamusaba. Nabwe gutyo nno nkusaba nga bw'oli maama amanyi obulumi bw'ebisa, ogatte eddoboozi lyo ku maloboozi g'abatabani bo omuli nange, oyite gavumenti ya Museveni ete abaana bonna beesibye. Ogambe gavumenti ya Museveni erekeraawo okusibaga abaana mu masomero. Ogambe gavumenti ya Museveni erekeraawo okuleeta olukusense lwe yakubye mu baana. Ogambe gavumenti ya Museveni erekeraawo okuba siriimu mu baana ba Uganda ne Buganda okutwalizaamu. Maama Nnabagereka, nsaba okusindika obubaka bwange eri gy'oli. Omukama atuwe enneema ng'owuliriza ebigambo byange era obikolereko maama, kubanga nazze kuno nga batugamba ne gw'ozadde akkubira eŋŋoma, kale n'obiibyamu. Omukama atukuume.